gotta come at an angle because I have a wheel, but, and I know you know this, just to show you. I'll go through it. Get your legs clear so they don't get caught once you get actually onto the chair, onto the mat. Shift your body as far to the side as you can, and then this is the key that it's easy to say, but really hard to do. Get as far forward over your feet as you can, because then it's less weight you have to lift. Because then you can just hop over. And then the rest is history. So transferring off, same thing. Make sure the chair is locked. And the exact same concept. Getting your weight over your feet is honestly the key to everything. So you can lean over and then you can actually lift your butt. And then just hop on. And it takes, you just got to do it to get used to it so you don't feel like you're going to fall over, but it's not too bad. Alright, so other thing which I know you probably know, I'm sorry I'm such a jerk for repeating it, but to get up onto flat, like if you're getting into bed or onto a mat, you can really use your legs. So what I do is I grab my outside leg if I'm going to my right and hook underneath it with that wrist. And then just fling your body back, and you can use your leg to grab it. That's a bad one. And then when you're in this position too, you can use both elbows to really crawl the bed, to lift your hips up and crawl up. And then from there, you can lay flat. Push up to get to whatever this is, long sit or whatever, and then you can take off your shoes or whatever it is you need to do. Because then from here, you know, you're just casual and laid back, so it's easy. That wasn't as smooth as usual. So again, this is pretty obvious, but just roll your hips like that. Because once you have this brace on your elbow, you can really use it to get up and down. I use my dome a lot for everything so I can get my arms free. And then position my elbows to underneath where I can get where I need it. And then you can kind of lift up like this. And from there you can rotate more and you can do this workout your best.
So just go protraction, retraction. So just squeeze the scaps together and then push them apart as far as you can, trying to lift yourself up. Yeah.
And this is good because this basically just builds up your shoulders to transfer.
And you can work different elbow positions here. You could go a little more behind, a little more forward. Typically it's best if you have that elbow stacked directly under the shoulder. You can switch up your position. So, and then same thing from that position, you can go side to side.
Like that?
Yeah.
And really what the key is, I'm just trying to bring my shoulders together and then really open it up. And you can feel it like right in the center of your shoulders. And like you send like side to side like that.
Yeah.
And then you want to be a beefcake too. That doesn't really do anything though, does it? But yeah, and then from here too, if you're in bed or something like that, you can just easily roll over and get to your side.
Bridge right now. And he's going up. I just put the feet right on my thighs, and you squeeze the knees together, and you lock the palms together. Okay. We'll go like 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off. Kind of depends on when you start to feel your lower back or your back start to weaken up a little bit.
And it's really, there's a mirror right here behind the camera, so I can see how much hip I'm getting, which is just a nice judge to see how much you're fatiguing.
He's driving down with his elbows right now while trying to lift his torso towards the ceiling. And right about now you can start to feel the back weaken out a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to rest. Take a 5 to 10 second break, and then we'll go again. 3, 2, 1, go. Do some windshield wipers too really quick. So I'm just holding the feet legs at a 90-degree angle. Thomas is going to focus on driving his knees from one side to the other, trying to use as much torso as possible. It's okay to use the elbows and shoulders a little bit as well, but the main focus is on his torso. There you go.
And you can really feel it in the obliques.
Try. Set
with the handle thing that you don't necessarily need but helps, and then a TheraBand.
So a lot of bands have the handles built in. That would probably be the best way to do it. This is a fat grip, so if you have these rubber bands, a fat grip will work really well as well. So he's just going to punch his arm straight out in front.
And again, it's really, I mean, for me, I feel like I have a little bit of core, but you can feel the muscles kind of trying to bend in, especially the obliques and the back muscles, but just good for that quad bend too.
So what I'm focusing on right now is I'm giving him a solid base to push off of on the back of his hips, so that when he rotates over, he's got something to bite into. You want his arm to stay straight, and then that rotation is all focused on the torso.
What do we do, like?
Normally we do like 2 sets of 25. We'll do 25 on one side, switch to the other, and then switch one more time back and forth. If it's too easy, you can kind of work that band, pull it a little more tight as he's going.
And it's really good to try and keep your body straight, because it's easy to tuck yourself in, but if you keep your head up and your body straight, then it focuses on the core even more.
Good.
Let me take this out. I'm just going to rotate over so you can see what I'm talking about. So then what we would do, I would switch over to the other side. And then do the same thing just over here, but you don't need to see that.
Setups for doing some core work with a PVC or a dowel pipe, grip assist gloves, just in a seated position. Essentially, you just got to be able to get into a good lumbar flexion, being able to get the chest up. So that setup is going to look different for everybody. Even each of my clients have a somewhat different setup. This is Thomas's here, just a couple balance blocks, yoga block, bolster, and then a ab mat. From here, we'll do all kinds of different stuff. We're going to do just a focus on his lats right now. He's going to focus on his sleeve. So the main focus is on the lats. We'll go through a set of 20 to 25, usually a little faster pace. And then on the last one, I'll have him try to hold, keep squeezing down while I'm working on that eccentric motion of it. Yep. Okay, go ahead, pull. I'll have to do for right now. So again, this is hitting all the upper back muscles, shoulders, as well as a little bit of balance work going on at the same time. We'll do a pretty high set on these, and we try to hit everything at least a couple of times.
And again, I'm over exaggerating putting my shoulders back to get my chest out, so you're really just forcing your scaps together. Because usually we don't work those out very much, and it's really good to protect your shoulders.
Alright, we're going to change our setup in here. Just going to push him a little forward. Crunch forward and providing some resistance here. Okay, now let's just go. So here he's trying to get his chest as high as possible on the way back. Trying to dig into that back all the way down. Okay, so this, he's going to focus on driving forward and trying to resist me pushing him backwards. So he's going to focus on abs, shoulders.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doesn't think this shit.
The Rock's got to dig this stuff. So here you want to try to keep fighting all the way back until you're all the way back, because this is where you really start to target those upper abs, right in there. One more. I'll add a little bit of variance as far as how much resistance and how fast we go back. And then we'll do the opposite as far as going forward.
And again, same concept. Chest out and open so you can really bring those shoulders together.
We got drive back. Here he's trying to drive back, hold that position while I'm giving him some resistance and pulling forward. These eccentric motions typically are very demanding and can really kind of get you working pretty dang hard. Do 10 to 15. And then we'll try to get through everything at least a couple of times, if not more. Right, you want to do a couple of rotations quick?
Yeah. Again, I widen my hands out for this one. You'll feel what feels good. Oh, yeah, take the back of that out. So less support on my core, so I can work on that too on my back and stuff.
So he's going to be pushing with his left, pulling with his right. And I'm going to be resisting each way. Usually try to make this hard enough that you're not really isolating any one thing, but you are pretty much forcing yourself to use as much as possible.
And you don't want to come down like this, because that's all we ever do. So I try to keep as upright as possible, but for as long as you can.
Okay. And we'll go the opposite way as well.
This new booty.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Here. I like to move the pads a little in and out, adding some variance as far as how far he has to reach. That's going to affect the balance a little bit. Come in nice and close.
And again, trying to stay independently balanced as best as you can.
Okay. Might have done that one on purpose.
I like it.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty.